I wrote a lot online. I tried to find what is it that I truly like about writing. I understood that there were no barriers to who I could present myself to be. And through writing, I became a journalist because I felt that what's better than to actually preserve or ponder upon the stories of real people. But a few years ago, when I wrote upon a redevelopment project and posted it on social media as part of a video report, there were quite a lot of comments that were targeting my identity and my visible Muslim identity, to be specific. They also questioned my integrity as a journalist, and it led me to delete my social media accounts. It led me to have a very caricatured understanding of who I am. And it made me realize that to some extent now I don't have the same form of freedom online that I used to. I cannot expose who I am, I cannot be vulnerable, because at the end of the day, there's this unsaid line as to who I can be in
on strategy and transformation. So I would say it's a core part of me, but I also understand the importance of the personal connection.
Digitally?
Digitally, I find this the title of your program very interesting. Which cut across generations, implying that there are some people who are old. So you ask me this question. My relationship with the digital kind of space is very complex, if I may say this way.
Through a tonal analysis, had negative emotion, which meant there was a feeling of, feeling anxious. There was the sense of feeling overwhelmed. Disengagement, not interested, not adequate learning to be happening. That was one set of large, 92% of people looking at that. But this is related to only online learning. On the other hand, there were also some people who said that this has been godsend. Online learning has been godsend, but of course that was a very small percentage because they felt it was very personalized. So digital engagement, because it was personalized, allowed for greater learning to happen, for one to carve her own path in her own learning. So these are the two different kinds of data sets that NOPED showed reflected to us. Having said that, we also know, and some of our colleagues, panelists here also have shared that.
In our in-person interactions, we tend to be respectful to each other in a way that we are being judged. But out there, you do not have anything, any kind of, say, compromise, any kind of moderator who would moderate your interactions. So then it's really important to instill the behavior in the students that they feel like they are responsible people when they are interacting on digital platforms. So that was second thing. And third thing is, digital technology as an aid. Because when we, entered COVID for a good period of time, we could not, interact with each other. Many of us, we did not know what are the digital platforms we can interact on, we can use for learning. And then when we started realizing and we started exploring the space, so then we had to transmit and transfer this knowledge to students. So that is something what we did.
Yeah. But I wanted to explain.
I found this number yesterday and on my site, it's quite crazy, that 800 million young people don't have access to digital skills and digital tools in the world. This is quite mind-blowing. So of course you have to think about these young people when creating all your SEL learning, and on the other side to think about the ones who are already hugely impacted by social medias, or who are trying to just understand how it works. So as part of an NGO, we really try to have this position, like how can we learn from the young people themselves, like what they are feeling, what needs they have. Because right now, I'm based in India, I'm fortunate enough to be based in India and to work with amazing young people who live, for example, in slums area and who are looking for a job. I think that in this room, half of us at least applied online to a job. And it can be extremely tiring to apply to this kind of thing. And with regard to social emotional learning, you are
find a particular balance between spending so much time online, because when you keep spending so much time online, it begins to affect your mental health and then your productivity if you're someone who works. So what I do, I find time particular hours of the day to spend time online. I can do so by checking a particular app or feature on my iPhone to help me gauge the number of hours I spend online so that I can be productive with my time. And then I practice more slow living. I can take a walk down the park and read more books, interact with people socially, be more in the present. Because the way you are on the virtual space or the digital space, you can be that same way on physical space. So I try to find a balance. And that's just a really